We start off today's wrestling news and rumors video with a big update regarding The Undertaker's status with WWE, because while many fans had believed the Deadman to have retired following WrestleMania 36 and the Last Ride documentary, it appears as though The Undertaker will be making his big return to WWE in the not so distant future, and Vince apparently has big plans for The Undertaker for his return. According to WrestleVotes on Twitter, the WWE are actually planning for Survivor Series 2020 to be influenced in a big way by The Undertaker's 30th anniversary in the company, which will be marked at this pay-per-view event. And as of right now, The Undertaker is reportedly set to appear at Survivor Series 2020 in some capacity, although at this point, no signs point to the Phenom wrestling on the show. However, even if The Undertaker will not be wrestling any scheduled matches at Survivor Series 2020, there's no doubt that Vince McMahon will definitely be considering having The Undertaker at least get a little physical in his big return segment at the event, to make it more special for not only The Undertaker but his fans as well, for such a big milestone in The Undertaker's wrestling career. And perhaps WWE will have a wrestler or two try to interrupt The Undertaker's Survivor Series promo to get chokeslammed or something of that nature. Perhaps even a confrontation between The Undertaker and Retribution. Let us know your thoughts on the rumors surrounding The Undertaker returning for the upcoming Survivor Series 2020 pay-per-view event, and in your opinion, should Taker just appear in a non-wrestling segment, or do you feel that Taker's return would be better or more monumental if The Undertaker wrestled a match at the show or at least destroyed a couple superstars in his segment? Brock Lesnar's contract status with WWE has certainly been up in the air following WrestleMania 36, with a few rumors coming and going regarding the Beast Incarnate possibly making a return to the company. And while there's still no concrete information yet on when Brock Lesnar returns to WWE, all signs point to the former WWE champion making a comeback of some sort to the company very soon. When asked about Brock Lesnar possibly coming back to WWE, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer was asked if the direction WWE would head in would be having Lesnar face off against Bobby Lashley in a dream match, but Meltzer stated that this isn't likely going to be the scenario WWE would move ahead with. And if Lesnar were to return, it's more likely that the company would book Brock Lesnar immediately in a storyline against either Roman Reigns on SmackDown or Drew McIntyre on Monday Night Raw. Now, as far as when Lesnar could return to WWE, Meltzer mentioned that Brock could be used for either WrestleMania next year or for one of the WWE's upcoming Saudi Arabia shows. As most of you are likely aware, Brock Lesnar is not under contract with the WWE anymore, and while there were reports of Lesnar possibly making a comeback to the UFC, it appears as though those rumors won't end up coming true, so it cannot be denied that the most likely scenario will see Brock Lesnar return to WWE in late 2020 or early next year for the build-up to WrestleMania 37, where Brock would likely either be in a big storyline for the WWE or Universal Championship. It cannot be denied that many wrestling fans were excited when it was revealed last week that Seth Rollins would be getting drafted from Monday Night Raw over to Friday Night SmackDown, as it seemed as though Rollins being moved over to the blue brand was just a thing that Seth needed to reinvent himself and basically start off fresh after being involved in some rather lengthy storylines on the Raw brand this past year that seemed to drag on and on. However, the WWE also decided to draft Seth Rollins' latest rivals, Rey Mysterio and Dominic, over to SmackDown as well, and WWE have continued with Seth Rollins and the Mysterio family on SmackDown recently, where they left off on Monday Night Raw. And apparently, not only are fans somewhat upset and annoyed by this decision, but Rollins himself is not a fan of this fact either. In Seth Rollins' recent interview with WWE's The Bump this week, Seth made it clear that he was hoping to start off fresh on SmackDown and feud with someone new, and while Rollins stayed in character by stating that the Mysterio family clearly don't feel that way, and that he will finish any leftover unfinished business with the Mysterios, apparently Rollins' opinion of his booking recently is very much negative, with Seth reportedly being somewhat tired of feuding with Rey and Dominic Mysterio, and feels that it's more than time for WWE to shift gears and move in a different direction. The WWE have now teased a future rivalry between Seth Rollins and Daniel Bryan on Friday Night SmackDown, so perhaps WWE will finally move on from the Seth Rollins and Mysterio family feud very soon, and change things up by having Rollins face off against Daniel Bryan in late 2020. Let us know if you agree with Seth Rollins that the WWE have been overdoing the storyline involving Rollins and the Mysterios, or do you feel that there is still a lot left for WWE to tell with the storyline now on SmackDown, and that it isn't getting redundant or stale yet? Speaking of the Mysterio family, because we have an update regarding Rey Mysterio's daughter Aliyah's contract status with WWE, and while we had reported previously that Vince McMahon does have big plans for not only Dominic Mysterio in WWE, but his sister Aliyah as well, apparently WWE are not planning to sign Aliyah to a full-time contract anytime soon, due to the fact that Aliyah wants to finish college before embarking on a full-time career in WWE. As of right now, Vince McMahon plans to continue having Aliyah work for WWE on a per-appearance basis, although one source mentioned that this could very well change in the future when Aliyah is done with college, with it likely that she would then join WWE full-time, and become an active member of the company's women's division. For those of you unaware, Stephanie McMahon had sent out a tweet the other day with the following message. So proud of the WWE community team and all their hard work to make WWE the 2020 Corporation of the Year at this year's PR News, CSR, and Nonprofit Awards. WWE's mission is to put smiles on faces, and it could not be done without the hard work and passion of this incredible team. Without wasting too much time, former world champion Jack Swagger, now known in All Elite Wrestling and Bellator MMA as Jake Hager, responded to Stephanie McMahon's post by basically stating that the WWE had lied about over $37 million in quarterly profits, so WWE could fire over 300 people this year due to the global situation, and that it was essentially a joke for WWE to be considered for this award because of this, considering WWE reported on such big profits shortly after all the layoffs. Let us know your thoughts on Jake Hager's comment directed towards Stephanie McMahon and WWE in general, and do you agree that the WWE basically used the global situation as an excuse to lessen the company's payroll? We now have our main story for this video, and it is regarding the new rumors and information that has gained the attention of many wrestling fans regarding Roman Reigns' cousin Lance Anoa'i planning to eventually join the WWE. For those of you unaware, Roman's cousin Lance has actually appeared in WWE already, with Lance Anoa'i making an appearance on Monday Night Raw back in 2019 for a squash match against Shane McMahon, which was not surprisingly when Shane O'Mac was feuding with Lance's cousin Roman Reigns. In a recent interview with Post Wrestling, Lance Anoa'i revealed that his goal is to get signed by WWE, with Lance even revealing that back in 2019, there was talks of him returning back to WWE to team up with his cousin Roman Reigns against Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. Lance made it clear that he's ready for the big leagues in WWE, and with all the rumors going around recently that the WWE are planning for Roman Reigns to reveal a Samoan Shield-like faction on Friday Night SmackDown very soon, consisting of the Universal Champion Roman Reigns, the Usos, Tamina, and possibly a returning Rikishi, there's no doubt that it makes sense for WWE to consider signing Roman's cousin Lance Anoa'i to be a part of the heel Roman Reigns' new Samoan faction on the blue brand.